From high school dropout to over $75,000 a month profit at the age of 18. So I'm going to give you guys, look at this. Look what I got lined up for you guys. I got a special treat. Literally my entire story over the past 3.5 years, I think it's 3 years, of being an entrepreneur. So we're going to start right at the start. Where I was pretty much, I mean, these are like the youngest pictures I could find of myself. I mean, I don't know if you guys ever had an interest of seeing me as a child. If you did, then we have a big problem on our hands, and we're gonna have to solve that. But yeah, so here's me. This is me when I was turning 4 years old, young Jit, Lil Smith. Here's me with a Cars hat on, because that was my favorite movie way back in the day. But yeah, I was a cute little kid. And yeah, I mean, these are pretty much the only pictures that I could find from when I was younger. And this period of my life, it was pretty rough. So if you guys don't know this about me, I haven't talked about it crazy. But upwards until from when I was 3 years old to when I was 8.5, 9 years old, my family was very well off. So we were pretty much like top 1%, I would say. I would argue, rich. We lived in what I would argue a mansion. And we were really well off. Like we were, doing rich people things. We were going to, a country club and stuff like that. And we were very well off. But then when I was 9 years old, I'm not going to talk about like the specifics of it, obviously just out of personal privacy and personal preference, but a lot of things went down with my family, and both my parents got divorced. They both pretty much got financially screwed through the divorce. It was a gruesome litigation process. We speed sold our house. We speed sold all the furniture in it. Like my mom was pretty much, living on a one person, like she's a general manager at a retail store. So she would work at like, I'm not going to say the store just out of privacy, but like, nothing insane. Like it's not like we were making crazy money and we were living in this big house and she had to pay all these bills and stuff. So it was a pretty rough period. For like the last 5 months of us living in that house, we had no furniture and we would eat off of boxes. So I'm not going to say like my life was the worst ever, but I've been through, I would argue a good amount of stuff. So this was what this period was from 2016 all the way to 2020 pretty much. For those 4 years, it was a pretty rough time. And there were some other small things, like when I was 12 years old, there was basically, I was struggling a lot in school. I was not behaving, small stuff like that. And I don't condone this, and obviously I love my mom so much, but she actually put me on behavior medicine. So I was very depressed. I tried to, off myself multiple times. I was planning on, I packed a bag one day, and I ran away, or I was going to run away. So I packed like 2 bags. I recorded a death note, literally a video, I don't want to say the word, but like a you know what I'm saying? A whole video. And I wrote a note. I left it at my house. I was literally walking out the house. I was like kind of down the street, and I turned back, and I'm so glad I did, because my life is fantastic now. So I basically got put on Lexapro and Ritalin. If you don't know what Ritalin is, it's damn near meth. It's like Adderall. It's like an ADHD drug. And I was put on that at literally the age of 12. So I don't condone that. And I really dislike the fact that my mom allowed that to happen. But obviously I love her so much. Like there's not really, I can't really blame her. I mean, she had a lot going on at the time, but that's a different story. But yeah, so here was me in 2020. As you can see, I was a very loser of a kid. Like I was, watching anime all the time. Like I had eye bags. I would play a video game called Rust for like 18 hours a day. I would grind that video game. Here's also what I looked like. You could see just the loserness. Like I play video games. I was a gooner. I was an avid gooner, probably 3 times a day. Like just a complete loser. So that was my life, like I would just wake up at like 3 p.m. I'd eat candy for breakfast, drink a Monster Energy, play Rust until, 4 a.m., go to sleep. I was kind of nocturnal. I'd skip all my online classes. Like it was pretty bad. And this was May of 2021, I believe, which was like, okay, and I've actually never shown this picture anywhere. So like even to my friends that haven't seen this picture. So this was a picture of me on May 2021. I don't know the exact day, but this was when I was like, okay, I'm going to like kind of work out. So we have like this little, we had like this little workout machine in the backyard. So I would like go out and I would like lift some dumbbells kind of and do this, just like some small stuff. I do like at home ab workouts, like get a 6-pack in 5 minutes type stuff. So yeah, as you can see, look at this, just holy cow. Look at that. Look at those, like just the most insane depressed kid ever. My right arm was bigger than my left arm because I was gooning so much. Skinny fat like crazy. I was too lazy to, put my dishes in the dishwasher. I had like a bag of Airheads here, a gaming headset. Like just overall, like this kid is a loser. Now, sure, I was working out, and this was actually, I think, 2022, if not November of 2021. I was still a loser. I was a faggot, I would say. I was very gay, like, not in like that sense, but it was like, looking back on that now, I was like, holy shit, this kid was a loser. Like, no skills at all. Literally would like listen to like Frank Ocean and be like, you know what I'm saying? Like one of those kind of kids. So I was a big Kanye fan. I'd say I still am a big Kanye fan. But I had like these posters up, like I had the LED lights in my room. Like I wasn't necessarily a man, I would argue. And in January of 2022, I believe, this might have been, yeah, January 2022, I think, I decided to do my first attempt at making money, which was actually NFTs. Funnily enough. So you guys can actually still go and look at this account on Instagram. It's at Pixel Swimmers. We are a fully independent NFT collection that focuses on helping newcomers get into crypto and NFTs. Our prices are very cheap, so everyone can buy them. So as you can see, I sold one, and it was for like $2. So I don't know if you guys want to do the math, but it was like 0.006 or 5, whatever that is, ETH. And I didn't know anything about NFTs. I literally just looked up how to make NFTs. I made an OpenSea account, and I made these on an app called PixArt. So these are all created on an app called PixArt. This was actually the NFT I sold for like, I think it was $2.50. So I would go into like crypto theme pages and stuff like that, and I would just spam. Like I'd even do outreach for people to buy my crypto for my NFT. It was the stupidest thing ever. And I'm so glad I actually didn't really make money with it because I hate crypto and I would despise myself being a crypto guy, especially an NFT guy. So I'm so glad I didn't make money with it, but this was my first attempt on making money. It was like $2. I didn't even be able to withdraw that. So, yeah. So this was my first attempt at making money, Pixel Swimmers. Then this was, I believe, I'm not sure exactly when, maybe like February or March of 2022. But my buddy's friend, his dad was working at like a software company. Now he had access to a WeWork office. If you don't know what a WeWork office is, if you're from, I don't know where you're from, but they have them in like Europe as well. A WeWork office is just like you can rent office spaces in like a building. So we went to this WeWork office and we got on a notepad and we were like, all right, let's make some money. Let's like brainstorm. And this is when I had the whole like, oh, we're gonna have one big idea. We're gonna be the next Instagram, next Facebook. So as you could see, app ideas, Zooic, mobile game, clothing selling app, resell and retail. We have smaller clothing brands through our app. When you make an account, you don't choose your buyer or seller. You can choose to sell or buy once you have an account. When a seller sells, they choose what categories. You can see what I'm saying. When a user creates it, it was just like kind of stupid stuff like, oh, let's do this app. Like every retard entrepreneur is like, let's do an app. Like that's the thing. So we were sitting down like, let's do an app. Like every entrepreneur has that kind of phase. And then here's March 10th, 2022. Funnily enough, how to make money online as a teen in 2022. Free, fast, and easy. And I was so down bad for money. I would do chores every single day. Like I'd bug my mom about chores. I also printed out like 100 flyers for dog walking, and I went around my neighborhood and I taped those on people's doors, or I knocked on their doors and offered it to them. Didn't get anybody to say yes. Then I did the same thing the week after, and I offered car washing services, and I didn't get anybody to say yes as well. So that was an L, but I took it and I kept moving, and I'm glad I did. So as you could see, I was pretty much just doing anything. You know what I even did? If you guys know what Cambly is, I still get emails on my phone to this day from Cambly, but I literally tried to be like an English tutor, like an online English tutor. And I don't know, I didn't even get through the application process, but that's how down bad I was for money. I really wanted to make some kind of money online. So yeah, April 19th, 2022, as you could see, like I was watching some Iman Gadzi and Reality Transurfing, which is the greatest book of all time. And I will stand by that, other than the Bible. But it's funny because I actually bought this book 2 years later, or a year later, a year and a half later, and it changed my life unbelievably. So yeah, it was me watching some Iman in 2022, and it's funny because I didn't even think about this book, which is super funny. It was like a full circle moment, and I ended up buying it, and it changed my life. This was and then I started like a social media because I was like watching Iman Gadzi, so I was like, let me do SMMA, let me run an agency, So here was my my agency like flyer, and it was so stupid because I was listening to this retard, and he was like, you got to get all the social media handles, and you gotta like, get the domain. So like I made the logo, bought the domain, all that before doing any outreach. It was the stupidest thing ever. So it's who we are. Valor Media is a social media marketing agency. We are highly skilled and have lots of insights and experience. Never ran a Facebook ad in my life at this point. We can help grow any business, course, page, or personality that you wish. We've helped grow and scale pages such as Mark Tilbury, Jordan Welch, and both have hundreds of. I never worked with any of these guys. I was just capping, and I'm so glad I didn't sign a client, because if I did, they would have wasted thousands of dollars. So thank God that didn't work out for me. But then August, this maybe was like, gosh, had to be like summer of 2022. Then it's still summer of 2022, August 8th. I was getting into e-commerce as well, because the main two guys that I would watch on YouTube were Iman Gadzhi and Jordan Welch. So Jordan Welch, obviously, like he was the little catalyst for my e-com journey. And I was like, best products, Shopify products, August 2022. I've never drop shipped in my entire life. I was just trying to make YouTube videos, like, just wanted to do something. So here is my video, best product, Shopify, blah, 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 terrible thumbnail made on PixArt again. It was so unbelievably terrible. I think it was either on that or Canva. But like, it was so bad. I mean, you can kind of tell how terrible this was. Like I didn't even layer the money signs correctly. Oh my God. But yeah, this was August 2022. And I was getting into like e-commerce and organic drop shipping, which is, what I do to this day. Thank God this worked out. We're going to get to that in a second. But, I made a video as well, Dear Me in 5 years. And this was pretty cool because I actually, we have Cape Town, South Africa. We have Cape Town in this video. And unfortunately, I deleted the video. I wish I still had it up. I tried to go through like the Internet History Archive and like contact YouTube support and all that and get it back. And I tried to look through old files. I wish I had it, but I don't, unfortunately. But this was on August 29th or August 19th, 2022. And it's super cool because I've made the money. I haven't been to Dubai yet just because I don't really care to, but I was like talking in the video. I was like, oh, I want to make, my first 10K a month in 5 years, which is crazy. 10K a month in 5 years is insane. And I was saying like, oh, I want to go to Cape Town, South Africa, because I was watching Iman and and this stuff. And it's funny because literally 3 months ago, I was in Cape Town. And it was a crazy full circle moment for me. So the funny thing is that a lot of people at my school ended up finding this video, and I got flamed, I got chirped, I got made fun of it, made fun for it, all that kind of stuff. And people kind of caught a wind on like what I was doing and like were making fun of me. So, that's just the name of the game. And if you're going to let that get to you, then do you really deserve success? Not really. So September 21st of 2022, this was my English classroom. And here's me watching an Iman Gadzhi podcast. I don't know why I took this picture, but I'm so glad I did. So this was in my high school. I was in, I believe, 10th grade. Yeah, this was first semester of year 10. So I was watching Iman Gadzhi in the back of class. I had no friends. Like, look at this YouTube feed. It's all Iman Gadzhi. Dude, I used to watch this guy religiously. So yeah, I used to watch Iman in the back of class, had no friends at the time, and here's what my routine looked like. Wake up at 5:45, wash face, eat breakfast, drink a bunch of water, read 10-15 minutes, meditate and stretch for 10-15 minutes, make bed, have myself ready for school, chill, leave for school, home from school, eat something, workout, ab workout, run, cold shower, homework, read, clean up room, chill. And also working at school pretty much. So when I would go to school, and we're going to cover that in a sec, but when I would go to school, I would read this book called it was called Fanatical Prospecting. So that's actually a fantastic book in my personal opinion, especially if you're trying to run a service-based business or do anything with sales. That's one of my favorite books, and I'm glad I read it. But I'd go to school 2 hours, I'd read the book, my teacher would give me work, I'd be like, I don't have a pencil. You go get a pencil. It's like, my pencil broke. He'd go sharpen it for me. I'd be like, I don't know. I would just make a problem to where like he would just leave me alone. But I was so delusional about making this entire online business stuff work. I literally sacrificed my grades, my mental health, my physical health. Like, I gave everything up. I stopped going to the gym for like 2 months just for this. And here's me, November 7th, 2022. I have the screenshots, just watching some Iman Gadzhi and whatnot. And at this point, I understood the importance of having like-minded people around you, right? It's all an environment thing. So around this time as well, I was making TikTok videos, and it was like my routine, right? It was like, okay, I'm going to wake up and I'm going to, do some, push-ups. Then I'm going to go and I'm going to make a smoothie. And then I'm going to go outside. And the friends that I was, I'm still friends with them to this day. But at the time, they ruthlessly made fun of me. They would chirp me, but not only chirp me, like full on make fun of me, and it made me feel like absolute shit. I was in it was just low frequency. They were making fun of me 24/7, and I could not stand it. I hated it. And it was the same kind of people. They're like, oh, we're your friends, but we're going to, shit on you for achieving your dreams. So these were guys that I knew for 6 years, talked to them every single day. And it's unfortunate, but that's the sacrifice you have to do. So you know what I did? I cut them off. I blocked them on everything, TikTok, even Discord, Instagram, Snapchat, all of that stuff. I just completely blocked them. I cut them entirely off. And obviously, as the years have gone by and I've seen success, I came around and I'm friends with them to this day. But I completely stopped being friends with them. And I think that was necessary for my success. And this was a Discord actually that I had called, I forget what it's called. But as you can see right here, I was in Hamza's Discord server. So you guys know who Hamza is. Basically, I understood the importance of being around like-minded people. I knew it was important. And I knew that, you know, you're the sum of the 5 people you hang around with. So I didn't want anybody that I interacted with online to be out of I guess, alignment with my goals. So I went into Hamza's Discord. I self-promoted. I'm actually banned from his Discord, but I got banned like within a week. But I self-promoted like crazy in his Discord server. And I also had a TikTok account called Next Gen Hustlers. So such a corny name. But I would basically make like theme pagey kind of TikToks. And it'd be like the motivational like B-roll of like Lambos and stuff. And I'd have the Discord linked in it. So I just try and get a bunch of like people to join the Discord. So, you know, I would have like people that I guess were like-minded. They want to do the same things as me. They're on self-improvement. And that was very important to my success. And I actually met, you know, 2 guys in here that I actually still know to this day, which is funny enough. So November 27, 2022 and like November, December, I was still broke at this point. I really wasn't making any money whatsoever. So this was a pretty rough like patch, but I was doing like motivational slideshows on TikTok pretty much. So as you can see here, no more self-destructive thoughts. This ape has realized we often suffer more in our imagination than in reality. And despite our hardships in life, love abounds. Basically, I was super into Stoicism. I read Marcus Aurelius' Meditations, fantastic book. I do recommend it. But this was at this time, you know, I read the books. I was into philosophy. I was heavily into Stoicism. So I essentially was just very tapped in. And I would post these. I mean, I actually got like good views on it too, like maybe like 10K a video. I had like some do like, you know, 100 mil or 100K, 700K. Some do like a mil. So that's pretty good. And that was also my first kind of taste, I guess, of virality on social media. So as I said, coming back to here, I was doing organic dropshipping at the time, and here's a product. You can actually go and look up this exact TikTok account, November 2nd, 2022. These were like bunny slippers that I was like promoting. So, you know, I get our Christmas bunny slippers are on sale. Get them before the sale ends. I didn't know anything about organic, but I was trying. And I think that's all it really matters is everyone's going to start like an idiot. Everyone's going to start like a fucking retard, but that's really all it comes down to. So this was an account that I was running. You can actually go look it up on TikTok. It's still there. There's the site, you know, stuff like that. I was like, here's my Q4 product. And here's the thing. I was so broke. I couldn't even order sample products. Like these came in after I did probably 2 weeks of chores. So as you can see here, I was just recording the website. That's how I got like, look at this creative. Holy motherfucking shit. I need these now. Oh my God. Hilarious. But yeah, so I was running these, and that was like my Christmas product, whatever. Didn't get a single sale from it. I even spent like $10 or $100, something like that, boosting a TikTok. Didn't get a sale from that either. Now here's the book that I was reading, Fanatical Prospecting. Super great book. The most powerful direct path to familiarity is a referral or introduction. Basically, I was learning about sales, and at this time I was still doing, agency stuff. So here's me. This is just a random screenshot I found, October 13th, 2022. Thomas Gannett. Funnily enough, so this was me watching him at 2,000 subscribers. Funnily enough, we talk now. Like we're mutuals on Instagram. We send each other, brain rot reels and stuff like that. And next time in London, probably hang out. So it's pretty cool. Like, watching this guy, build up his business and his personal brand way back in the day and, watching his YouTube videos and now being kind of boys. So I think that's a super cool full circle moment, but I was doing, the agency stuff as well, which I didn't get. I want you guys to understand the delusion that you have to fucking have. I want you to understand the delusion it takes to get to where the fuck I am today. I would wake up at 5 a.m. early so I could cold call Eastern time. So I'd wake up at 5 a.m. so I could cold call Texas and Florida because they were 3 hours ahead. So it'd be 8 a.m., which is when they're opening. So I'd cold call them for 3 hours. Then it'd be 8 a.m. I have to go to school. I'd work on, do outreach for an agency I didn't make money from, get leads for an agency I didn't make money from, come home, cold call for the agency that I didn't make money from, do outreach for an agency I didn't make money from. Then I go to sleep and I do it all over again the next day. Like I literally was on like 4 hours of sleep for like a month. That's what I mean when I sacrificed my health. I was that down bad, and that's how bad you need to fucking want it. Like I wanted this shit, and nobody understood how bad I did. So this is my first taste of online money ever. As you can see, these accounts are still up as well. You can go check these out. Basically, the idea behind this was like I was selling like this is from AliExpress, and this was a Y2K clothing store. So this is my kind of first understanding of, I guess, trends, playing into trends, seasonal products per se, and you know, this was like the whole Y2K stuff. So at this time, it was like Ken Carson had like Yale. That song was going viral. You had Destroy Lonely. He just dropped No Stylist, and he dropped that album. So the whole Y2K stuff, the BB belts, like Opium stuff, Homicide Gang, like they were all going like super viral at the time. This was like peak, like Ken Carson, Destroy Lonely, all that. So, you know, this was at the time, and like Rock and Roll and Project X from Ken Carson, that was a big album as well. So I was selling like Y2K clothing stuff. As you could see, like here's the designs and whatnot. Like it was just like just random AliExpress stuff. And I was selling on, you know, from AliExpress. So like, bro, I was like, yeah, 2-week shipping. This shit took 2 months. So I got orders, and I just had to literally, like, I had some money in PayPal, and I was like, if you order from PayPal, like, please let me know, like, send me your email so I can do this. Like, this was the most lazy drop shipping I've ever done. My customer support was terrible. And these people took like 2 months to get their products, and it was the worst quality stuff ever. So I got sales from it. So I think I made like $700 revenue from this site total. And this was October 2022. So yeah, like here's the screenshots. I was super hyped. I was freaking psyched about this. And here's me commenting on my own. Oh, as well, Ken Carson plushies. So as you can see, like the top of here, I just stole a video from a TikTok or another TikTok or like Reels download or something way back in the day. And it was like a Ken Carson Goomba plushie because everyone was making fun of Ken Carson, calling him a Goomba. So I like sold a plushie that I found on AliExpress. And here's like me on my own account, like, where can I cop? Funnily enough. So then this is also around the time that I met my best friend still to this day, Jeshua. And he's seen everything unfold in his eyes. So I thought I'd throw that in there. This was a birthday dinner that I had. And because it's not like we were well off whatsoever. So I was like, Mom, what can I do for my birthday? I want to go for like a fancy dinner. And she's like, yeah, you can spend like $100. And I was like, bet. So I went to this, so I'm from Los Angeles, if you don't know. And I dropped out of high school, but we're going to get to that. And I went to this restaurant in downtown LA, which is one of my favorite restaurants in the city, and it's called La Boucherie. It's like a French steakhouse on like the 71st floor or the 70th floor of the Intercontinental building in downtown. So here, this was taken there, and maybe if you guys wait there every single day for the next 6 months, you might catch me. But yeah, I love that restaurant, and here was us at that dinner, and this was when I was broke. And I literally had no friends at the time. Like even he wasn't my best friend at the time, but my best friend literally didn't even come to my birthday dinner. Like, holy loser, bro. Like my best friend didn't even make time to pull up to my birthday dinner. So you know what I had to do? Like I knew this guy, I think for 2 weeks at the time, and I had him pull up. That's how much of a loser I was. But I'm glad I did. And he became one of my best friends. So this was also basically me buying a pair of shoes that I never wore, by the way, with the money I made from this product. So I went to Ralph Lauren on Rodeo Drive, Beverly Hills. This is the picture of the receipt. Shout out Brendan. He's the GOAT. And this was like the December 22nd, 2022. And I think, does it say how much I spent? Okay, it doesn't show. I guess I blurred it out because I was embarrassed. But I spent like $200 on a pair of shoes. And I didn't even have $1,000 on my bank account. Stupidest purchase ever. But guess what happened next month? A lot of stuff happened next month. I've always lived in an abundance mindset, and that's what I really appreciate about myself. So for example, this Burberry wallet right here, I bought this for like $250, $300 when I only had $500 in my bank account. Was it a stupid purchase? Yes. Do I still have it to this day? Yes. Like, I mean, it's a good wallet, but I also never lived in a scarce mindset. I never had that frugality to me. I was not afraid to spend money. I was not like, it's an abundance mindset kind of thing. So January 5th, 2023, this is my first $1,000 day. Super hyped about this. As you can see, I was on like FaceTime with my boy. Like I was like, bro, this shit is going crazy. Oh my God. January 3rd as well. Like we opened up to, it was like 6 a.m. We were already at $300 in sales. And this was all organic. Like this was insane. I was getting sales on sales. I was like, bro, what the fuck? So then I did like 5K in a week. I was freaking out. Here's me at the time. And I really fell into like a deep hole of partying. So here was May 26th, 2023. This was me and this was my boy. We were at a party. Like I was just partying. I mean, it looks like I was on drugs here, but I actually never drank. I was fully sober at these parties, funnily enough. But I was more sober then than I am now. But like I would just go to parties. I'd try to get with girls. I would just fall into, I mean, I was still making money, like 2K day, not bad. June 1st, 2.6K day, but at like not even at the end of the day. So I think we did like 3K, like super solid stuff. Enjoying summer, and I was copped a little bit of some ice. Like I was spending money. I got like Go Yard bag, like Eric Emanuel shorts, little tennis bracelet. Like I was, there. Like I was kind of falling into the trap, and I was spending a lot of money, and realistically it was all off of like one or two stores. And the problem with that is that it's just not smart, and I didn't learn the lesson. So I was basically making money and I was spending most of it. And that's obviously the stupidest thing you could possibly do. But I didn't have, first off, I wasn't the kind of person to have the money, which is why I wasn't able to keep it. So it's not about making money. It's about keeping it, preserving it, and multiplying the money. So I wasn't able to do that. I also had like a small Discord server, which is, I was like running this, and I had like 6 people in calls. So I've been doing calls for ages. And then here I hit the lowest point in my entire life, is rock bottom. I pretty much spent all my money. I went broke again. And I hated my life. I like was thinking about, that committing, every single day. It was terrible. And here's a real journal entry from, this was 5/17/23. So that May 17th. Today I had to blur some stuff out. Today I'm feeling numb. I don't have feelings. But it crushes me. I feel as if I have nothing. I feel like I'm getting complacent and lazy. My work ethic has been getting low. I need to go back into a position of need. I need to make it. I need to make the money and have the girl. I want a girlfriend, not blank. So this was a girl I was seeing at the time, and I really was just using her for sexual needs, like pleasure, which I feel really bad for. And it's not how any human should live. So I was like just trying to numb myself with all this, bullshit. And basically I was like, I want a girlfriend, not blank. I want an actual girlfriend, someone who I can actually really love. I don't love her. I use her for sex. That's the truth. I am numb. I have lost my mind over these past couple months, and it seems as I'm lazy and my motivation is at its lowest, but I have a voice in the back of my head saying it's better than ever, and I'm just desensitized to my work ethic. I'm ill. I am numb. I want to feel. I want to say I love you to someone and mean it, which fucking hits hard for me. I was in such a bad position. I was crying every single day. Like at this point, felt so lonely multiple times. I actually hugged the clothes in my own closet. I had this blue puffer in my closet, and I would go to it. I'd put a pillow in it, and I would like, that's how down bad I was. My life, I was terrible. I was so depressed every day, crying, laying in bed, crying myself to sleep, waking up, crying. It was terrible. I don't wish that upon my worst enemy. I'm surprised how I got through that. The next day, I'm feeling a lot better today. I mean, I'm still in the same position, but I feel like I have a plan now. I'm starting an agency. I have a call with blank later. I'm going to make it work. I'm going to make it. I'm excited to work my ass off. I'm still in the same position in regards to blank and girls. I can't do business with blank. I can't do business with blank. I can't be too nice. Me and blank discussed this last night. He seems like the kind of guy that if you were working with him for a year and some guy offered him double the money to snake you, he'd steal the money. He would. He seems shallow and ego trips a lot. I can't risk that. On the other hand, I need to do business with him. He's the first guy I'm bringing on the team. Again, though, I'm numb. I want to say I love you and mean it. I distract myself with blank. I use her for sex. This girl smiled at me and looked at me. In my eyes while I was walking out to the balcony. She was cute. She was my age, but I can't do anything. I'm not ready. Business first. I need to fix my life. I still feel desensitized to my work ethic. I'm in a hole, but I can assure you I will climb out of it. I will prosper. So I don't journal anymore, but I only journaled, and I think it was bad because journaling kind of just made me focus on the negativity stuff. Like if I tell you right now, go outside and focus on all the red cars, you'd only see red cars. right? But you wouldn't like, you see what I'm saying? It's the red car analogy. So I was focusing on it, which kind of made it worse and made me spiral. But yeah, I was working, like I wanted to start an agency. I was still doing e-commerce at the time. And I was making like solid money, like maybe 10K a month around, like it wasn't anything crazy. And I wanted to start an agency, like an e-commerce agency basically, because I was also tapped in with a lot of the SMMA agency guys. So I was, I had a friend slash business partner at the time, and he's not a very good person. Or he wasn't a very good person. I haven't talked to him in 2 years, but, yeah, like I decided to run an agency, and that's basically what we're going to get to as well. But I was still doing e-commerce at the time, making a little bit of money. This was the day after. Yesterday, I bought blank and I started my agency. I'm going to be making 50K a month in the next 10 months or so. I just know. I'm going to really lock in now that I'm done with school. So basically, I dropped out. Like that was my thing. I'm done with school. I've dropped out. I'm going to focus on content and the agency. I'm going to be on an agency lab call later today as well. This is my time. Anyways, I got to stop writing and just do. So far, it's day 2 of the journey. After I'm done meditating, I'm going to go down and grab a coffee and some breakfast, something small, blank, 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 blank. I really need to fucking get to work. I can't keep sitting around. No other choice. Maybe the financial risk is more of an incentive for me to work harder. The more I put in, the more I get out. This is my life and I need to control. So you can kind of get a gist. The mindset was there, but it wasn't there. So I think a lot of guys, and this is the reason I was depressed, is because most people, they get into the entrepreneurship trap, right? They watch Mr. Bugatti, Andrew, and they'll see like, oh, I just need to work. I need to be, life is suffering. You're not going to make money thinking life is suffering. Nobody ever has. You need to think life is great. Life is fantastic. You need to spend time with good people, eat good food with great people, like stuff like that. Believe in God. Enjoy nature. Go hang out with your friends. Monk mode is a scam. People don't understand that, and that's why they get so depressed. So obviously, my entire life, I just need to work. Yeah, work is great, but I was desensitized and I beat myself up over it every single day. But as you can see, I had the I will climb out of it. I will prosper. The more I put in, the more I get out. Like, I was so about it. And that's how you guys need to be as well. But this was just the worst time of my life. So I was making like 10K a month still. Then I started an agency. So basically, I was running a very niche agency. I was still doing e-commerce and dropshipping at the time. And I was doing, I basically decided to run an agency for mattress companies that were in the US, but they're only brick and mortar. So their websites weren't optimized. They didn't have landing pages and they weren't running ads, but they did ship internationally. So I would basically go to, brick and mortar mattress stores. A lot of the times it was older people that were running these stores. And I'd be like, hey, here's what I've done. Here's my everything. Here's my rep. I can make, I'll do this for you. And it took a lot of time for me to close people and do this. Like I made like 7K in a month with the agency. But it wasn't anything crazy. A lot of it was from leveraging a case study. Basically, I made one of my biggest clients, he was an 8-figure mattress store owner. And I basically hopped on a call. It took me 4 calls to close the guy. The guy was just stubborn as fuck. He was low key an idiot. He paid me a couple grand. And I ran this guy like a 4th of July offer ad. And I was basically, I optimized his lander. I basically optimized his ads. I ran it, and I made the guy like $17,000. It was like, I think it was like 7 website purchases on an average of, or no, it was like, God, what was it? I think it was like 10 website purchases on an average website purchase of $1,600 or $1,700. So I made the guy a fuck ton of money. And off of $354, I remember the exact number, $354 of ad spend over like 3.5-4 days, which is fucking insane. So the guy still fucked me over. He still was like, all right, I'm going to go work with somebody else. Thanks, though. Dude didn't understand shit. He's a fucking asshole. If you're watching this, fuck you. So, fuck you, Larry. I'll say your name. Fuck you, Larry. You're a dick. So, the guy sucked. I hate the dude. But I was making some solid money. Then I pretty much went completely broke. Like I was still spending money at this time, like money that I couldn't afford to lose. I shut down the agency because my time was not respected. I was disrespected by my clients. It was low leverage. I would get called up at 5 in the fucking morning from these people, like, because maybe they're East Coast. I'd get called up at 5 in the morning from these old motherfuckers being like, our fucking ads account just got banned. What the fuck is Facebook doing? And I was like, send me a screenshot. And he sends me a screenshot. I'm like, it's a scam message. Facebook is not, their account is not based in fucking Nepal. Their account's not based in Nigeria. It's a scam message. Don't call me. And that's the type of shit I was dealing with. So I fucking shut it down. But I was fucking super broke. I hated my life. I was super terrible. So I went bald. I went monk mode. I shaved my head. I read reality transurfing. I read books like The Kabbalion. As you could see, reality transurfing, banger book right there. And I went completely bald and I just locked in. I went all in on organic dropshipping. I was, my life was just work. Like I was working like a dog, but I also learned the importance of frequency. I learned the importance of mindset, manifestation, law of attraction, things of that nature. So, I would wake up, I'd meditate, listen to 432 hertz audios every single morning. I'd listen to my subliminals. If you know what those are, if you know, you know. If not, sucks to suck. But subliminals are basically, I don't like the term affirmations. I think it's kind of gay, but I basically would layer affirmations, or I would say I am, because you don't want to become, you want to be, right? You don't achieve your goals, you achieve a standard. We aren't the highest version of ourselves. We're the lowest version of ourselves that we can accept. Understand that. So I would basically have a 432 hertz audio as a frequency playing in the background, and I'd go on and I'd say affirmations. I'd say I am. I wasn't making 5K a day, but I'd say I make 5K a day. I make 5K a day. I make 5K a day. Like stuff like that. So he was me again, shaved head. I was crying this night. It was just not like that good, kind of in an L, like overall mindset, everything. But then I had this little account. It was funny as well because this was like some funny meme gambling stuff. So this is December 2023. And I was making like some solid money at this point. We had 14 million views on this video. You can check this account out. I archived all the videos, Smith Reese Reels. You can check the account out, but it wasn't anything special. Like you can kind of get the gist of what I'm coming at. It's like funny meme videos. It wasn't anything special. But we were going very viral. We'd have like 10 million, 14 million. We'd have 6 million, 7 million, 13 million. Like it was fucking a viral format. And Cody Ko, if you know who that is, actually, funnily enough, reacted to my video. And in these videos, what I started doing was a little bit of product placement. So I made a lot of money from that. So I would have, the link in my description, link in the comments. In Cody Ko's video, the video was linked. I was like, whoa. So that video is like 6 million views on YouTube now. So best believe I decided somehow to make money from it. This was me at the time, weird stage. My hair was growing back. You can tell if somebody is like in the trenches if they have acne or not, because acne does not come from like eating, like obviously it comes from eating shit food, but I was eating super healthy here, but my cortisol was through the fucking roof. That's how stressed out I was. Like, look at this guy. This guy's not healthy. He's stressed out. Look at the eyes. You can tell if he's stressed out. Look at the eyeballs on this guy. Look at the eyeballs on me. I was about this shit. So as you can see, I had like super bad acne. My cortisol was through the fucking roof, and I was just working my dick off every single day because I didn't want to feel like I did during the summer of 2023. So here's me again. I was kind of getting better, as you could see. Like the hair was growing back, which was like a weird stage after shaving my head. And I was, this is me at my boy's house, just working on the laptop, typical stuff. And my acne was kind of clearing up, nothing crazy, but I was still working like crazy. And then summer of 2024 came, and this was such a vibe. So I was already making money here. Like I was already making money. And I really understood the importance of frequencies, vibrations, life. I, was starting to make really good money, like 50, 60, almost 70K a month some months. And I started traveling. I went to London. If you don't know, I'm English. So all my family's English. I have dual citizenship. I went back to England, and I visited family. It was fantastic. So here's me in England. And, obviously like my hair grew out, started slicking it back, cleared skin. So obviously I was like just enjoying life overall. And it was just a fantastic time because I started to feel free again. I started to feel whole. I started to feel happy, which was something that I didn't feel for damn near 2-3 years at the time. Like it was just constant, just berating of boom, boom, boom. And I felt real happiness. Like this right here, this is not happiness. This is not real happiness. Does this look like happiness to you? It doesn't. It was fake happiness. I was depressed. I was sad. This right here is real happiness. I had fulfillment. I connected with God. I became Christian. I still do to this day. I even have a tattoo of Jesus' crown of thorns. So I'm so proud that I found God, Jesus specifically. And I really started, like, my life started to make sense. I had a purpose. I was doing content. I started to inspire people as well. So that was a beautiful thing. And then this was actually a couple months after that. I was, doing one-on-one stuff as well. So I had a personal brand, obviously like programs and whatnot, like, oh, he sells courses. But this was a one-on-one coaching client of mine who I worked with for 4 months. He joined my program and he hit 10K a month in 30 days. Then he reinvested that money with me for a one-on-one coaching. And I took him to 100K a month. I think it was $97,000, all organic with dropshipping, organic dropshipping. And he bought an his 2024 M4 competition with the Red Guts before he even had his license. So this was super dope for me. He goes, just cop the M4. Thank you so much for everything. Let's fucking go. Like the dude was doing like 10K a day, 6K a day. Like it was popping off. It was crazy. It was just a vibe. And I actually flew him out. So I didn't fly him out because he's not a groupie. He came to me and he flew out and visited LA. I phrased that wrong. He flew out. Here's us. This was October. And I had my driver, my chauffeur in LA pick us up. I picked him up from the airport. I took him to Beverly Hills. I showed him a bunch of cool cars. I'm a big car guy. I love cars. So I took him car spotting. I showed him like one of one. Like I showed him a LaFerrari, Bugatti Veyron Supersport, Pagani Imola. If you don't know what it is, look it up. It's like a $4.5 million full carbon, one of three. Like it's insane stuff. So I had my driver in LA pick us both up. I showed him around. It was super dope. Then I got us a super dope villa. This was also one of my one-on-one clients as well. So I got us a super dope house in Beverly Hills, super sick view, just vibing, recording some content, just giving him some sauce advice, whatnot. And this was super dope, like being able to connect and see these guys. I actually took both of these guys, funnily enough, because what I do, I have like a tradition. If any of my clients are in LA or they come to LA, I take them on a helicopter tour around Malibu and whatnot. So I wish I had a picture up right now, but basically I took both these guys on each individually. I took them on to a helicopter tour, which is super fire. And that was super fun as well. So this guy going from like a little town or something in, Montreal, Canada, like on the outskirts of Montreal. And then now he's popping out in LA, riding black on black Escalades. Like I met his parents. It was just such a fantastic feeling, like completely changing somebody's life and being able to, have them come out and like experience like a super dope life firsthand. So now here's me earlier this year. I was traveling. I went to Cape Town. I went to Croatia, Split, one of my favorite countries. In November of 2024, I went to Budapest, hit London again, went to Serbia, a bunch of cool stuff. So I was traveling a lot earlier this year and it was super dope. Like here's the villa we were staying at. I love Croatia. One of my favorite countries. And here's me today. So this was when I was in Miami in March, early March. So it kind of came full circle, like being able to kind of come through and scroll through all of these ups and downs and hardships and this and that. Like I came a long way from this little kid, then going to skinny fat, hitting puberty, gooning 7 times a day, from doing a failed NFT like I really want to put this into perspective for you guys. This was like a 3.5-year process. Broke, gooning, loser. Skinny fat, gooning, loser playing video games. Failed NFT project, failed app idea, learning how to get rich quick online, trying to be doing chores, housework, neighborhood flyers, and, becoming an English translator, online tutor, running an agency, then doing e-commerce, then getting fucking flamed at school. I have a picture of it, but it's on my Instagram. Basically, people would write on the whiteboard in Spanish class, fuck Smith, like, because they knew I was coming in the next period. Stuff like that, bro. Then watching Iman in the back of class with no friends, being unbelievably dialed in. At this time, I made no money. This was already like a year and a half, and I made no money. Okay, keep that in mind. I went so long with no money. You have to be mentally prepared to go about fucking trying your 100% for 8 months to a year without making a fucking dime. Understand that. So, boom. Then I was watching Iman. Then I had the fucking Discord server. I ran a product. It failed. I was doing an agency. It failed. I finally made my first dime online. Then I spent most of the money I had in my bank account. Then it all came back. I started making $1,000 a day, $2K a day, $3K a day. Fantastic. I was starting to party. Then boom, it all fell apart. I went broke and I got depressed and I wanted to almost kill myself 6 times. Boom, shaved my head. Like, you see the shit that goes behind all this? Like this one picture of me with my dream watch on, with a supercar, which was actually one of my clients' cars in Miami. And all the way behind that one picture is all of this. So I want you to understand the depth that goes behind actually becoming successful in any facet of fucking life. It takes so long, it takes ages, and you have to be undoubtedly, unbelievably fucking delusional about the delusional, I think that's a word, about the process. You have to be insanely illogical. That's how this shit works. So I appreciate you sitting down and giving me 45 minutes of your day to watch my journey, see how far I've came, stuff like that. It means a lot. And I think that anybody can fucking do it. Like, it makes no reason why you can't do it whatsoever. So I hope you guys fucking enjoyed. I hope you resonated and saw the duality of, okay, I can see, cool stuff in vlogs and whatever on his YouTube channel, but I just want you guys to really see what the fuck went behind all of that. So yeah, follow my Instagram. It's at RealSmithReese. Subscribe and just watch my YouTube videos if you like. Up to you. If maybe you hate me from this video. But yeah, also, if you want to work with me one-on-one, feel free to check out the top link in the description. And if that you don't want to, that's completely fine. I mean, like, unless you want to M4 comp, but that's fine if you don't want to work one-on-one. Also, I have free courses and a bunch of free resources on my YouTube, so that's fine as well. I'm really thankful that I'm able to do this, and it's a part of my job that I can make content and inspire people every single day. I praise God every single day. And thank you so much for watching. Give me the time, because 45 minutes is a good amount of time. So thank you guys so much. Take care and have a blessed day.